Okay. Alright. Badass Uncle Sam in the rough. I have been up since 7 this morning till midnight tonight now working on this thing. A day in the life of this past Sunday. You've already seen a segment of this. It was I'm tired of the bullshit segment. So you could add that on. There's a couple other segments I couldn't get in here because of technical difficulties. So this easily could have been over a 2-hour video without some of the other bells and whistles, or a 3-hour one if I were to extend the conversations. But it's going to give you a good idea of what it's like to do the streets the way I'm doing it. How you have to pinball from one conversation to the next and all. It seems I'm working harder, but kind of staying in the same spot. So I assume some of this has to do with the way the algorithms are trying to quell some voices now. But anyway, all I'm going to do is just try harder, fight harder. I could use your help, though. We're putting together a YouTube commercial, go back to some of my clips, put together a YouTube commercial, make some fun out of it, make a contest out of it. Winners get a signed print. Everybody gets a, JPEG of Clinton get out of jail. I hope you can see that. I'll post it in there somewhere. And with my name on the back, so you can go ahead and, get my name out that way. Maybe we can fight them that way. Keep on trying to spread this truth. Or what I think my version of it is, and so there it goes. I hope you enjoy this. So I might go ahead and do the same thing for Saturday, which is even more intense than this one was. So I'm aging fast here, folks. Anyway, have some fun with this. I did. All right, take it easy. Hey, how you doing? This is me on my way down to the French Market on the River Road here, and this is a line of warehouses. I thought I'd share this with you. So now even having money is racist. Whoopee! Okay, all right. Well, and then I'm heading that way, and just over the bridge is that is the place where I go to do battle. Too much because you're still in. But there are some things you could cryptically, of course,
I was just telling her this morning, I read an article, the title was, if the U.S. and North Korea are going to war, no one told the U.S. military. Because it's all just rhetoric coming out of D.C. There's no orders, there's no one moving there, there's no one prepping for deployment, there's nothing. Until someone says get ready, we're not doing anything.
This is what I'm getting, it's like, it's all showtime, folks.
Exactly.
What do you think they're distracting from? That's the question I want to know.
You got me. Yeah. I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Yeah. Look into that for me, will you there, Captain?
Yes, sir.
What do you do up there in Boston? Are you still a student?
I actually am going back to school in like 2 weeks, studying music, yeah.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, Boston, of course, is a very liberal place, but, being in, I guess, in the arts, it also add on to that.
Yeah.
You seem interested in my work.
It caught my eye, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not flower pots and Fleur-de-lis, indeed. No. And that's what I like doing, is like catch people's eyes and finding out where, how they view things, because my art obviously is how I view things.
Yeah.
The sanity I see, this is my music, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my question is, are you familiar with Antifa?
You know what, I'm not. I was going to ask you about that.
I'm not surprised about that.
because the media that we know is corrupt and lies to us.
Yeah.
Of course, they're always going to be one-sided and try to push out a narrative that's going to benefit the powers that be. Right? Antifa is this group that you'll see at a lot of these riots now. I'm sorry, I blew it unwisely. But Antifa is at the Berkeley riots. Remember when Milo was going to speak? You're familiar with Milo Yavakovich? He's a gay right-wing commentator. Yeah, Milo. Yeah, who was going to speak at Berkeley. And unfortunately, the Antifa people showed up, and they're like anti-fascists, is what they call themselves. But everything they do is fascist. In other words, they cover their faces, they dress in black and red, they attack everybody that isn't them. So, free speech is to them is like as long as you agree with them.
Yeah.
Everything. So they stopped Milo from speaking, which in the home, and I was in Berkeley, it was a home of free speech. And for Antifa to stop someone from speaking and say that they're on the side of America. But Antifa is pretty much one of these groups. Anytime you join, it's like it's been proven in the past that the neo-Nazis are funded by basically our government. We have moles that give them money, so we make our own enemies. They wouldn't hardly exist at all, but it'd be a few nutcases if it wasn't the fact that we give them money to go ahead and build up their organizations. Antifa is being funded by George Soros. Are you familiar with George?
I know his name.
Yeah, George Soros is like the Koch brothers on the right, a billionaire who...
Yeah, that's about as much as I know.
Yeah, in his own words, and this is in a 60 Minutes interview, he made his money by turning in his fellow Jews to the Nazis and confiscating their land. This is how George Soros made his money. And he continues to build his billions by going around and fostering revolutions everywhere, creating chaos, and then, investing in the war in the chaos he creates. He's in the process of trying to bring down this country through the same means by funding these groups that create, Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all these groups that will separate us. So it's all, women's rights and, Black lives are, all lives matter. And all these groups that are designed to do this, to keep us divided, having blacks fighting whites, fighting yellows, fighting reds, and then everybody fighting the police. So, you create a police state. It's like yesterday when that thing happened in Charlotte, which I'm sure everybody's heard about by now, because these guys are blasting it. But 2 days ago, a deranged Hillary supporter shot a Trump delegate, his neighbor, in the head twice in front of his wife on the lawn. But nobody hears about that.
No, I didn't hear about that.
You see, we don't hear about, again, the narrative that they're pushing out there.
Yeah.
So they don't tell you about Antifa, which was at the riots yesterday. So are the neo-Nazis. And knowing that the neo-Nazis and Antifa are both funded by billionaires to foster riots. Because otherwise it was just a...
My man's speaking the gospel of Paul out here, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you
I
very
love
much.
to hear it, man. I've seen you on the internet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
awesome.
very much. Thank you.
Hey, what's your name, bud?
Well, here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton. On my back's my YouTube channel.
Hey, man,
and,
my son is a huge fan of yours.
Oh.
He sent me your video where you got into it with the lady right here, actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know where that's at. And we had to come.
So
here
you're
and see
local?
it, man. No. We were living in Texas.
Oh, terrific. Well, that's where I'm going when the shit hits a fan. So, I know, you won't shoot anybody wearing this outfit. When you do, you shoot straight.
That's right. Let me get a picture, man. You mind?
Oh, I'd love to.
All right,
I'd
cool.
be proud
You mind,
to.
darling?
Oh, I don't mind.
Come in there. Oh my gosh.
Here, let me give your son a couple of more.
Yeah, he'll love it.
Pass out to his friends and stuff, man. There you go.
What's your name again, bud?
Mike.
Mike, Chris.
Badass Uncle Sam, brother.
All right. It's nice to meet you, brother.
Pleasure.
Doing what
my
you're
pleasure.
doing, all right?
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. You have a
Thank
good
you very
day.
much.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Drink, babe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I am drinking it.
Sorry about that. My fame gets in my way again.
Sorry about that.
No, thank you. It's a pleasure. It's always it's always nice to know people actually out there giving a damn, you know?
We do. There are many.
Yeah. So indeed, so the idea of them putting us in groups and separating us, so that's it now. Antifa was at that riot yesterday, and you gotta remember the police, a lot of the politicians are let's to be kind, are bought off. They've got an agenda. Democratic cities will manipulate their police. Because I've talked to enough police out here to get the skinny on this. So when something like yesterday will happen, they will forcibly be ordered to stand down when any violence happens. So then they can come in as the saviors. It helps say, oh, we need the police. We can't have no more of those right-wing gatherings. Look at all the violence they cause. But there was no violence until Antifa and Black Lives Matter show up and started the violence, because they are always hitting anybody that isn't them. Always. I mean, you get on YouTube, you go on Antifa, you see all these other little punch women, specifically women. They put women in their front ranks. So, to get punched, so then they can come and say, "Oh, you fascist! You punched a woman." When there was a woman out there beating you over the head with a bike bar. So what are you going to do? Right? So the Antifa, the double standards is what I'm looking at right now. That I think we have to start looking at. We have to stop being manipulated. And thank God now we have the internet, which they are starting to censor too. My YouTube channel was demonetized yesterday.
Wow.
Just because I'm out here speaking like this. So anything, right of center is getting censored now by Google and YouTube. How is that fair?
It's not.
Thank you.
It's not. Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, you're obviously old enough to vote now.
I am.
Indeed. Do you participate in the political discussion, or do you?
You know what? It's honestly, I've taken myself out of it recently.
I find a lot of musicians do, because they focus on their career and stuff. But
yeah.
Is that your reason, or is it?
It's more that I think, especially of late, like I've just been so overwhelmed by everything on the news, and it was like affecting my health.
It'll do that.
I talked, like, I'll listen to people, they like tell me something, like I've read it to you, and I'll listen to what you have to say, and like I'll go look into it. But I've been sort of away from it. It's been too overwhelming.
It's supposed to have that effect.
Yeah.
I mean, they want you to, be repelled by it.
Yeah.
And most people are, and I can understand why.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not pleasant subjects to understand that we have a government that's well, now if see, now I'm really going to get you scared. The whole thing is this. We're being overtaken by artificial intelligence, and robotics are going to be putting a lot of people out of work.
I can see that.
Yeah. So there's going to be what Henry Kissinger referred to as a lot of useless food eaters. Now, in the past, elites were never kind to useless food eaters, because they've only kept us around this long because they needed slave labor. Well, with automation and coming in and robotics and the AI intelligence, they don't need slave labor anymore. So the depopulation program is in play. So those that get in power are made aware and given promises, saying, hey, look, man, hey, You do what we're saying, you can live. You can have this nice place, man. We're going to give you, because all these other people are getting dead. They're killed. And once they're killed, you get to have their property. We get to run it. So, that's a pretty strong argument. You and your family will live in a paradise, and we're going to kill off these people that are clogging up the freeway.
That's why I've taken myself out of it.
Well, that's why you got to put yourself back in it, because if you take yourself out of it, you will you can't hide your head in the sand with this. I mean, that's what they want you to do.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. It only takes a little bit of resistance. Because why? We outnumber these bastards 1,000,000 to 1. So if just a small percentage of us wake up and start acting, it doesn't take all of us. It only takes enough. And it's always been a small group of dedicated people who have changed the course of history. Anyway, that is my song and dance.
Thank you.
And it was my pleasure to speak to you, and I wish you well, and I hope someday to hear your music.
Yes. Thank you.
Here's a get out of jail free card, and if you've never listened to InfoWars, go check them out.
Okay.
It's a pretty good independent news channel that'll catch up to speed on a lot of things. And it's raw news, and he will scare you to death too, but they're also funny. I mean, they because these are like I do, I try to take serious situations and at least get people to look at them in a different light.
Yeah, that I can appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was I go through these phases where I'm super involved, probably to an extreme, and then that's when I get burnt out and I have to take myself away. So
yeah, I can understand.
To just slowly get back in by talking to people and listening and looking into stuff when I can, and I'll check that out just to see.
Yeah, my burnout switch burn out. I just blur. I'm just like a non-stop train now. So
The right is divided too much. Because there's too many forces. There's certain ideas, idealisms that divide people. Say Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones, right? I like a lot of what Ben Shapiro has to say. Very sharp guy.
Oh yeah.
A lot of things I disagree with him about.
Yeah, sure.
But if they were ever united.
Well, I think what's going to unite is the things like the Antifa and the stupid push from the left is going to unite the right. I mean, that's one of the things that they did at the Charlotte bullshit yesterday. They tried to pin the neo-Nazis with the people that were protesting the taking down of the statues.
Right.
When they took down the Lee statue here, I know a half dozen black guys that were protesting that statue being taken down. So how do you can call them neo-Nazis?
No, it's the easy way.
Yeah.
It's the easy way to put them in a box and make them feel like they're the bad guys. They want to put you in a jersey and make you feel like the opposite team instead of saying why. And that's honestly, man, I served in the military, and I got out and I just wasn't about politics. It was never my thing. I just wanted to kind of be me. And these last two election cycles, Tyson, I really started paying attention. It's so much eating. Then I thought, well, like we were saying with the internet, I have no excuse not to educate myself about everything.
You can't stand. Unfortunately, we can't stay still right now. You can't be on the sidelines.
No.
This is not the time in history to do that.
So many people are, and I'm just like,
yep.
But then what happens is you get swayed by the popular narrative.
Yeah, but here's the good news. Here's the good news.
Come bring it, man. I know you.
Typically, the majority never matters anyway. It's always a small group of dedicated people that change the course of history.
Sure.
Just by you making the move, by doing what I'm doing, and other people now getting out, standing up, and speaking out against. Because here, the deal is, we outnumber the bastards 1,000,000 to 1. So if just a small percentage of us stand up, we crush them.
That's true.
And look at all that we've had against us. Think about everything we've had, and we're still winning.
That's true. That's true. It's been great.
We're still winning. So they keep on pushing. Yesterday they came at us with this bullshit riot. That's going to fall out. I guarantee you that it's going to.
It's been one thing after another.
It's going to fall flat.
And it's just like, where? What proof? What, you know, and even, you know, people like I was saying, Shapiro, I was listening to him. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
We were driving in from Houston yesterday, and I was listening to it on the way, and, you know, he still hates Trump. Still. And I'm like, man, Trump isn't perfect. But God uses imperfect people all the time, all throughout the Bible. And he's kicking ass. He's done great things for us globally. He's done great things for the church. And it's just like, man, I mean, I don't see how you don't get it. I don't see how people don't see it. They don't. Some people just still don't
I'm
get
an
it.
impatient man. And I would like, if I had my brothers, 98% of them would already be hanging from lampposts.
Oh.
I mean, if I had my brother. I'm looking at the factors, again, that he's had against us, we have against us.
Right.
For him, because they don't call the deep state nothing, because it's deep. It is deep.
Right.
It's in everything.
Right.
It's infested every facet of our existence. So for him to have gotten done what he's gotten done with all that resistance against him, because he's got enemies in the White House sitting right next to him.
Right.
So, you know, for him to get done what he's gotten done has to be God's providence. Has to be. I mean, well, again, we're winning.
It's great.
We're winning.
It's great.
We have God and truth on our side, and we can't lose.
That's exactly right.
It might get difficult for a while,
Imagine
but
the conversations you've had out here. The one where the lady was, it's my favorite, man. They had the husband, and he tried to get involved. That's the one my son showed me. I was like, man, who is this dude? And I didn't know you were down there all the time. And he goes, yeah, he posts all kinds of videos, so we figured we'd come down here and hunt you out.
that's cool. Real life. It's a good thing, huh? It's a
So
good life.
blessed lately, man.
Yeah, brother.
So blessed. I'm telling you, I started, because I didn't know who to vote for. I mean, I just didn't know much about Trump as far as where he stood. Like I said to you, man, I was totally asleep.
Yeah.
Totally asleep. And my brother was big on Trump, man, way back in like July 15. And he said, man, you need to start, just look into it. He said, you're smart, Chris, you'll get it. So I said, all right. So I started checking it out, and I started understanding why he was running, what he stood for, and how. And then as soon as you get the whole globalist deal, and I don't see how people aren't putting it together.
Well,
because it fits. All you gotta do is step back.
Yeah.
It's like one of those pictures.
Yeah.
Looks like one thing, but you look just a little deeper, a little longer, and you see it all. And you're like, oh. So then it was full steam ahead.
Yeah.
My son actually dressed up as Trump on election day. Went to school. And, you know, we live in Houston, so you know, that's 52% Mexican city.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care. My wife is
No.
Puerto Rican.
It must. I like it a lot. Again,
Who cares?
I'm in the middle of this liberal cesspool. Overwhelmingly black, overwhelmingly, of course, I mean, every kind of LPG, whatever, you know, the guy.
Exactly. Whatever you identify
Do you
as
see
today.
any bullet holes in me? Do you see any, you know? I chat. Of course, they'll come by. I took one to court recently.
Come on, Ty, stop.
There's
Sit.
one on there. It's an epic. This woman came out here and protested me for 4 hours.
4 hours.
She stood right here with a sign saying, "This man promotes violence, and Wallace doesn't." In that 4 hours, I was subjected to more threats of violence. One guy tried to run me over with a scooter. Another one, you know, two guys got held back from attacking me. At the end of the day, when I'm breaking down,
Right.
this little social justice warrior that's protesting me tries to steal one of my cameras.
Oh, really?
I can't catch her, put it in my back pocket. I call the police. She's stupid enough to stick around. She could have left. I didn't know her name. Right?
Right, yeah.
But she thought her cause was so just.
Oh, yeah.
So we go to court on this.
Feelings are justified.
She
The more
hires a
offended you are.
lawyer. I mean,
Really? He's stealing.
and they try to use my artwork as justification for her trying to steal my camera.
You need
That's
to go over there.
awesome.
She said.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know how to take a picture. He was like, hit the little camera.
So you were getting protested like 4 hours.
Yeah,
And
and she
stayed.
Yeah, so they charged her with tampering. We went to court just a couple of weeks ago, and she was found guilty. It was hilarious. I mean, the judge kept on saying, kept on bringing up, well, what does this got to do with her stealing the camera? Trying to take his camera. I mean, because they kept on bringing, well, his artwork, and she was getting up there trying to defend herself because of, the grab here thing.
Right.
It's like, and so the prosecutors, well, did the camera say grab here on it?
That's great. The judge said that?
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah, so so she got yeah, I know. So she was completely humiliated, got fined $100, 30 days probation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my boy, he went to school. Take him, baby. He's trying to keep the dance right now. Thank you. My son went to. Let me show you this picture, man. You'll like this. He went election day. He got kicked out of Spanish class because his Latino teacher. She didn't like.
Because he was dressed as Trump.
Yeah.
Other guys tell me, other kids tell me they got kicked out of one guy told me some woman tried to get him kicked out of Denny's for wearing a Trump shirt.
Man,
it's insane.
let's see if I can find this. This is just a couple days ago. Oh, here it is. Yeah, see. Let me get it. Yeah, see him?
Oh, cool.
Kicked out of Spanish class because she hated my outfit.
Oh, Jesus.
He's got the impression down and everything. They had him get up on.
That'd be a good YouTube. I mean, really?
He's great with it. He's fun. He loves it, man. He's over the top, ate up, but I'm happy, man. He makes me proud about it. And I'm just trying to keep him from, doing something he can't get away from.
Well, seems to be on the right path.
He's good. He makes me proud.
Bad as some woman come by yesterday. I'm going to pass the sign. This is what your kid is. A woman came by. She goes, obviously, I think she was New York Jewish. She goes, you got chutzpah.
Exactly, man. I'm
Your
proud.
kid has chutzpah. Going to Spanish class, dressed as a Trump is.
We got to pick something out for him, man. He said, make sure you get something for him.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is one of my favorites. That's always good. It's
I
my
like that
signature
one, too.
one. It's probably friendly enough.
Let me get one of these, the swamp one, and one of these right here.
Okay. All right.
And I'll take it to him. He'll be so excited.
Like anything, there is going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, I mean, you can't obviously brand all Muslims bad. There was billions of them. If they were all bad, we died a long time ago. Their radical Islam kills more of their own people than some. Yeah, the thing is, this was done to go ahead and create an enemy. If you remember, it was the peace dividend. Well, we're a war economy. What are you going to do with the military-industrial complex? Peace. So, what do you create an enemy?
Jesus.
But there are so many holes in the story that it's easy to just look through and go, excuse me. And now we spend trillions of dollars and how many millions of lives on a lie. And to me, I'm tired of living the lie.
So what do you think about the North Korea thing? Is he really just kind of...
I talked to a military out here yesterday, a captain and a major. And I asked them, what the hell are you guys doing on leave? I mean, aren't we on war footing? And they said, if we are, they haven't told us. Says nobody in the military is moving to do anything. So it's bullshit.
They're just trying to protect their own country, and we don't like that, right?
Well, again, the game's being played. The manipulation, the lies they go ahead and perpetrate. I trust nothing I hear on the mainstream media.
Like that. Yep, that's who they are.
Yeah. So, you go to, thank God for the internet. You go to other sources. And that's why they're trying to cut that off now.
And the internet's even censored at some level.
Oh, right, more than ever. My YouTube channel got demonetized 2 days ago.
Because you're putting out too much truth.
Because I'm a little bit right of center.
And how did you tell if something happened to your...
Oh, because it tells you. It says, you
got locked out.
Not suitable for advertising. Not suitable for advertising. There's some of my tamest videos, there's conversations out here with students and whatnot.
That's
demonetized.
That's crazy.
And then they put you on you won't be listed in a people of interest that might be interested in what you have to say. Right.
Censoring.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the big suit with with YouTube and Google right now, and that's how they're doing it. everything is coming to a head now. Even though they didn't win the election, they still plow forward like they have. Because the ideas, and everybody knows, and this is the cold hard truth, the whole thing is about depopulation.
Because we're getting overcrowded.
Well, it's not just that we're getting overcrowded. The elites don't need us anymore. I mean, the only reason they kept us around this long is because they needed slave labor. Well, now that they have robots and AI technology, more and more our jobs become obsolete. Nobody has to worry about strikes or.
So do you think AIDS, what do you think is the way to get us sooner now?
Oh, sure, they have bio-Pacific weapons. I mean, if they want all Irishmen to die tomorrow, they can spray the sky and all Irish guys will die. I mean, what do you think DARPA works on? I mean, DARPA's the kind of place to look at bark and figure out how the hell can we use that to kill somebody.
DARPA, what's it stand for?
Defense, appropriations, you look it up, it's got...
Agriculture, not agriculture.
It's one of these black budget, thing where billions of dollars go into and they don't have to ever show up where or how it's being spent. I mean, and again, we're a war economy, we're getting to a point where, it's where what Kissinger called useless food eaters. So, there'll be 50% of us going to be put out of work in the next 10 years just with robotics and AI. So what are you going to do with all these people? Give them video games? And who's going to, what? I mean, the elites in the past have never treated us kindly when they didn't need us. It's not like we don't need them anymore. Let's give them all a little bit to live on and let them play video games and have sex bots. Ain't that way it works.
So a war would help. A war would help, maybe. Even though they might be younger, but...
that's part. You see, there's two ways they can depopulate us. One is by indeed putting us these little electronic pinballs we get ourselves into and feeding us GMO foods and allowing us to suck our energy out of us and our money out of us by making us sick and us just going into the electronic zombie land. And fine, they suck us dry that way. So, or they can do it quickly. Oh, North Korea, boom!
Yep.
Either way, we got to stop them. If you want to live, your children want to live, we got to stop them.
I'm with you.
Could be right here.
Well, indeed.
Plastic.
Well, indeed.
Plastic.
Well, the one plastic that they picked to put the water in was the one that gives you cancer.
That's exactly why I don't drink out of that. I tell them it's cancer water right there.
We have a filter and we're truck drivers, so she does the water in the glass, but every now we have to,
Oh, of course.
So,
I see you can't hardly afford it. Of course, that's all you can do is mitigate it, become aware, become knowledgeable, and then start taking steps to mitigate the damage.
Because you can't eradicate it.
Not totally, not to eradicate them.
Right, so you've got to do little bits so that these other things that you can't control don't.
And every bit helps.
Yep.
Because every time you take that step, your mind becomes clearer, you get to see it.
That's very true.
All right, man.
You guys do business together?
Yes.
Oh, terrific. What do you manufacture?
Medicine.
It's in South.
Medical
Wow.
products.
Now, I'm glad I ran into you guys because, there's some, the pharmaceutical industry, is a huge industry and has a lot of power and clout, but it's also some suspect of, does China send us the same drugs that we would have here? In other words, are the same standards?
Yeah, our guys are GMP certified. That's good manufacturer. They're FDA. So we just had them inspected for $1.3 million in December. We make topical applications to get our vets off of drugs. We make topical pain patches out of natural substance like capsaicin. The only medicine we use is lidocaine. It is imported straight from Japan. It's the purest and the best you can get. We use a oil base. Most lidocaine's water based. These patches you buy in Walmart and all them are diluted. We get our products OTC. That means over the counter. So you can buy them. You don't have to have some doctor with a big drug.
That's what's going to be my next question. Are these commercially available?
They are. We actually, Amazon, we sell to Amazon. They came to us.
What's the brand name?
Ultimate Pain Relief.
Ultimate Pain. I'll look them up.
And don't buy them at Amazon. They're way overpriced.
Okay.
eBay is a little cheaper, and I didn't come prepared, but I had a business card. I can write down the website.
Well, you can always send me the information. I'd love to have it.
Yes,
It's in the back of this get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And,
this is the old Monopoly, right? Yeah. Okay. But no, sure, that's our purpose, is when Obama came in and put that crappy health care and all our people got shoved out, we're against big medicine. We're giving alternatives to it. And these young men are third generation manufacturing, and they're above board. You know, we go over, we've had the FDA go and inspect their factories to make sure. And they come visit us, we go visit them, our families are good. My wife's Chinese, so
yeah, this is a good thing, because I can't imagine, you know, considering the economic ties, and that's what gets me, you know, the enemies we're supposed to have are the ones we should be tied more closely
That's right.
to.
Like they bitch about Russia and Trump. Hell, I want to be their friend. I don't want to be their enemy.
They have an enormous amount of resources that we can use, and they
vice versa.
Vice versa.
Right. Yeah.
And it's, of course, the same thing with the entire Chinese. Well, hopefully things are becoming this two-sided thing to being this globalist, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got to stay away from it forming a one-world type government, corporations being in charge.
Right. It's socialized medicine, socialized government, all that.
And at the same time, you want to keep their nationalism, but you want to expand and use the markets available.
Yes, sir. I'll send you some information on it, but that's exactly what I'm doing, is I'm trying to, in my generation, before I'm gone, to get the younger generation to see that if we can't trust the government. We live in a liberal communist country. I work in a communist country, and I have no problem because I play by the rule, and it's clean cut. When you go there, you know what you can do, you know what you can't do. There is some pocket greasing in certain areas. But in all, in a communist country, they worry about Cuba. We sell medicine. I've got a joint venture with the Chinese and the Caymans, so we can sell. I've been selling to Cuba to help medicine for those poor people. You know, it's all.
You're not
politics.
advocating communism, are you?
No, none of my family. No, not at all. No, but I'm just saying they're forced. They're like a victim. They're born and raised there, and they're stuck under that umbrella, and they're labeled that.
Well, plus their whole heritage is always, I mean, they have a heritage that's deep-rooted in respecting authority.
But the younger generation doesn't do that. They're awoken to be, they're coming here to get educated. They're going to Europe and all so they can see the world.
Well, that's the good side of the globalization and the internet being able to go
Correct.
ahead.
Well, you know, in China, my wife, when we were there, we've been married 22 years. When we first met, they took all my email. I worked for GE, so I traveled all over the world. She didn't come here. She didn't want to be here. She had a good job for a woman in China. Worked with a British company in the telecommunication industry. So we would communicate back when the two-way pages were in. And they would grab our messages. And when I did get to talk to her, because our phone calls were limited, because overseas into the communist country was very limited.
Right.
And her parents, her mom's a school teacher, her dad was a civil engineer. So they're kind of in the upper echelon of the government. They were provided housing, and they did have a computer, with very limited access.
Right.
But the government lets them see what they want them to see. They don't let them see the truth.
Yeah.
And so my wife is educated. She said, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
She said, I've got friends that made it to the U.S. or to Canada. They all work for a lot.
But now they're trying that same censorship here.
You're right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's coming. But I mean, it's too late, really. You know what I mean? Because they got so many underground connections.
Yeah, they you know, the canaries out of the cage. You know, I mean, whatever metaphor you want to use. Once it's out, it's out. You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
That's right. What's your name, sir?
Mike DeBarry, or Badass Uncle Sam.
I'm Gary. Gary.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
2 4-letter words, and I'm like Becksbeard. I will send you a link to the website.
Yeah,
and
please
if you want
do
to
that.
try one, you can.
No, please, I want to do it because obviously, as an old fart, pain means a lot to me. You know.
Well, I have arthritis and gout.
And I live with a couple other people who might be able to benefit from it. But you know, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you. I don't want to leave them, but
no, sir. Thank you for your time. God bless you.
Nice talking to you. Need more people like you.
Thank you, sir.
Keep up the good work.
Oh, I shall. We were patient. We're all about. What was one of the biggest things this whole election was lock her up. I mean, we want that. We're tired of this two-tiered, justice system.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know.
So we're preaching the choir here. We can go all day.
Yeah.
Corruption is just unbelievable, and the fact that it's not being held accountable is the really spooky part.
Yeah.
You know, like this guy.
Yeah. I mean, but he put the pedophile task force ring together, and it did, and indeed, you know, they busted over what, 10,000 pedophiles. You know.
What I'm suspecting is that, and this is just conjecture, that the Democrats visiting Arab countries were treated to underage kids and so forth. They have the goods on it, all of it on camera and so forth, and they're all being bribed.
Yeah.
And that the pedophile stuff is really all tied back to that, and that's why they're trying to normalize pedophilia, is because they've got a whole lot to lose if it ever comes out. One of the guys here got caught.
Yeah.
He's just too stupid.
Yeah. Well, deal will look like, you know, the Pennsylvania coach, was it? You know, the Sandusky?
Oh, yeah.
And then when we know this, if you want to go back, you can go as far back as, you know, the Franklin cover-up during the first Bush administration, and they found, you know, a pedophile ring going from Boys Town, being run by a guy named Larry King, all the way into the White House, where they were bringing, you know, boy prostitutes into the White House in the middle of the night. I mean, so they've always used sex as a means of blackmail. Same with Bohemia Grove, and but there's a good thing. We're starting to find this out. Thanks to the internet, nobody's being pigeonholed just having to listen to these guys anymore.
Yeah,
you know, we're on the internet now.
Since the election, they've come out of the closet with all this stuff. They tried to pretend they weren't doing it, and now they're just doing it out in the open. So I think it's waking up a whole lot of people to what's going on. I think a lot of people are seeing it.
Yeah, their own hubris is going to kill them.
Unbelief that they actually go to work every day thinking they're journalists.
Yeah.
When all they are is they're just
oh, they're pathetic. I can't. Yeah, really. How do you live with yourself? I mean, really. What do you do back home? What do you do back?
I like how Hannity scrapes them every night.
Yeah, but they really got the big purge on now of trying to quell conservative viewpoints and thought.
Yeah,
they even knocked me off of demonetized my YouTube channel the other day.
Oh, that happened to you too?
Yeah, it's pretty much happened to everybody. If you're anywhere near, you know, right of center, you're pretty much getting.
Well, Google's cold.
Yeah, which I think it's time to break up the monopoly and start some other venues. I'm going to go to VidMe and get off of YouTube. Just, you know, because why? I mean, you create a vacuum, you kick me off screen, you take my business.
Well,
you know,
fighting a good fight.
Yeah. What do you do back home?
I'm an electrical engineer. Engineers tend to be more conservative because we have to be right.
Oh, yeah.
We can't afford not to be.
Yeah.
Because people die.
Well, no, no, you guys are, you are the clog in the wheel. We were there. This is the guy, when the lights are out there, where the hell is that son of a bitch? And then it's like, thank you, when the lights go back on, you know. Yeah, because energy is everything.
It is
everything.
It's the cornerstone that's
now
all this corruption.
How close are we? I mean, our last I heard, our entire electrical grid system has got like an F- as far as being vulnerable to attack. Is that still true, or is there anything being done about it?
Weapons? I believe it actually is. I'm not sure if you could actually set off a single nuke at an altitude and do it, because if that was the case, it would have been true all along. But I know that with sunspots, and things like that we can get. What happens is you get a flow of electrons around the Earth. Yeah. It takes the electricity that's in the grid and creates over really long distances. You get a potential on one end that's different than the other, and it starts to blow everything up and burn out things and eat insulations and arc and so forth. I really don't know if a nuclear weapon can do that.
What about even on the ground level, though?
I design computers, not...
Yeah, it would be even on a ground level if they were takeouts like some transmitters, knock down one grid. From what I understand, if it knocks down one, kind of a domino effect, it'll knock down the others.
Well, I know this, and it doesn't take much brains to figure this out. This isn't engineering, this is just common sense. If we have a giant shock to our economic system, people are going to die like flies in the cities.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Well, I was here for Katrina, though. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah, so we're moving out we're moving to the middle of Mississippi.
Yeah.
From Maine.
Yeah, I think anybody,
Maine's crazy.
if I had any brains, I'd get the hell out of here myself.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to.
Yeah.
Think about New York, Boston, L.A. Those are the people that are going to be claiming they're entitled to federal funds. Bail them out again.
No, there won't be any.
There won't be. There isn't any.
Yeah, there isn't any now. Yeah, it's all. We're all living in an illusion, man.
Yeah.
We're living in an illusion.
There's also more.
Yeah, as I said, keep fighting the good fight.
Well, thank you,
For the
sir.
conversation.
You guys enjoy.
She's got I am disappointed that they hadn't gone after the illegal voting like I thought that Jeff Sessions would. We're from Alabama.
Well, there is the voter task force, Steve. Are you aware of that?
The what?
Trump started the voter task force looking into setting our voting thing straight. All the Democratic states went, well, how dare you say our election process is messed up? All the time they're saying that Russia hacked it, so the double standard, right?
Yes.
They refused to turn over their public records on voting registration to match up against the people that are dead
Right.
or people that are not legal.
Right. Take my picture.
So far,
Please.
yeah, but they're refusing to hand over that information.
When he was campaigning, I thought that was so cute when he hugged the American flag. Okay, you want old Hillary in it now?
No.
I'll take another just in case I'm not pretty good. Okay.
You know, after the election, some old woman wanted a recount, insisted on a recount, and they stopped it. Didn't say much about it.
Yeah.
Every polling box they opened up had 500 more votes for Hillary Clinton than the number of people that voted.
That's what they're
And
finding out.
they stopped.
Yeah.
But no, they're not making that public. The state said we're not counting anymore. We declare her a winner.
But that's it. We are finding this out. Everybody knows they're cheating now. That's the beautiful part of it. You know, I mean, nobody's listening to these jerks anymore.
I was watching on the video years ago a man speaking before Congress, and he said you cannot detect when the votes are changed by the machine.
Yeah.
And they said, well, how do you know this? He said, I created the program.
Right.
It's impossible to detect.
Yeah. There was a man, he ran for office in Florida. He was approached by the Democratic Party. Said, we want you to make a program that will flip the votes over because we want to find out how the Republicans are going to cheat. So this guy made the program, and then he gave it to him, and then the program that he gave to the Democrats, they started using to cheat. That's the guy, I assume, that came up and spoke up and said, I'm the guy that made the program.
So you cannot detect it.
Yeah.
Would you stand by me? May I get your picture?
Oh.
You're cuter than the...
Well, God bless you. You're very kind.
He wants to stand up. He's going to hide her.
Well, I know
Ooh, I
she don't
love
like
it. Thank you.
Well, I'm proud he got rest tonight.
Well, here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, good.
This is our last hope.
I might need this.
That is.
This is our last
I have a
hope.
question for you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Do what?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm an Iraqi Christian. How do you feel about that?
A what?
Iraqi Christian.
God bless you.
Well, God bless you.
God
My parents
bless
are from
you.
Iraq and we're Catholic. How do you feel
God,
about that?
I think it's wonderful, darling.
Oh, you think that's wonderful?
You're a Catholic. Yes,
Do you
I think
realize
you're
that
Christian.
1,500 of my people are being deported back to Iraq because of Mr. Trump?
But
Are you talking about
why are they being deported though? What?
Because they're
Are they here
and they're
illegal?
Well, they're Iraqi and they've been here for
But are they
over
here
20
illegal?
years. Some are not.
Okay.
See, they don't want to be legal because
If
you're
they're not
legal,
legal, they need to be deported.
if you're not legal, you get.
Okay, do you know the consequence? Hold on.
No,
Hold-
she's
may
got
I
a
ask
point
something?
because
Yeah,
they
hold on.
are
May I-
persecuting the Christians.
Yes.
Yeah,
May I ask
I
something?
don't
So
think
do you
I
realize
got
that is a death sentence?
They what?
I don't want any Christians. I do not.
Where'd you get this news, dear? Where is this from?
It's my people, my own neighborhood, my own suburb from Detroit. I'm currently in the process of helping them out of this mess.
Oh,
we're Catholic, and sending them back.
Well, I hope you get.
A lot of them have this. A lot of them have this tattoo. If they go back to Iraq, they will be slaughtered.
Why do they have
because
the tattoo?
That's Christian.
Because this is. I got this from Jerusalem. I went there because of my faith.
It's the same thing with
my
Syria.
parents are Iraqi.
Do you have an internet or a site or anything?
Yeah, there's tons of
can
information.
Can be promoted.
Yeah, I mean, if
know
you,
about this.
But how
Well,
can you support a man?
He's not causing
His administration is literally doing
Well,
that.
again, it's administration.
Pulled them from our church.
A lot of the administration is still Obama.
He's not all the administration.
Do you realize?
I mean, there are a lot of things
I'm
in
so
there that are
sorry.
going on that.
Do you realize how many more of your people who are not Christians are in this country because of Obama? Sorry. I don't want you to go home and be killed.
Well, understanding that, she has a point, but here's the deal. The previous administration went overboard and stocking in people,
turn this country to Muslim.
to go against anything that Trump, in other words, they're doing exactly the opposite of what Trump would be ordering.
I wonder if that little girl, if she's here illegally. That makes me wonder. She was so upset.
Well, it doesn't, I mean...
Well, she might have a valid point, but I say it might not be Trump. It could be the Obama policy still in
They
place.
are sending
Because Obama was horrible about letting in Christians. Horrible.
Well, he was evil. He didn't enjoy thank you.
Oh, God bless you. It's my pleasure. It's been my pleasure talking to you guys.
First post over there about if fluoride is for your teeth, why do they make you drink it?
Yeah, and how do you feel about that?
Well, I've seen it from my own eyes that it really makes a difference in kids' teeth.
How? Good or bad?
Good. When they took the fluoride out of water, they used to put it in water all the time. When they took it in water, not taking it out of water, but when people started drinking bottled water, the K rate in kids skyrocketed.
And you saw this firsthand?
Yes, I work in pediatrics, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you if you know the history of fluoride? Do you know the history of it?
No, I don't know the history of fluoride, the full history, no.
Briefly, if I may.
Okay.
Briefly, if I may. It is the byproduct of the aluminum and fertilizer manufacturing industry. Is one of the most toxic waste known to man, and there are laws against dumping it in the ocean. But when you sell it, if someone buys it, it is no longer registered as a toxic waste.
Oh, okay.
It is registered as a product. Now, it is the only thing they put in our water that treats us. So then this arises. One, it is a neurotoxin that is known by the July 2012 Harvard Medical Science Study.
Okay.
So it needs a prescription. You have to be a doctor to prescribe it because it is a neurotoxin.
Well, that's in a certain strength because it's in toothpaste.
No. Again, follow me here.
Yeah.
Please allow me. The history has the first time it was ever used was in the Russian gulags and the Nazi concentration camps, because Hitler wanted something you could put in the water, and when that would dumb down the population. And they found when they put it in the water at the concentration camps, IQs dropped as much as 20 points, and the prisoners were more docile and easier to handle. Now, in 45, something called Operation Paperclip brought over approximately 36,000 Nazi scientists and intelligence agencies, and we put them to work in our laboratories. They brought their ideology with them. Right after that, that's when fluoride showed up in the guise of being fighting Mr. Tooth Decay. Well, one, where's the government's license to prescribe anything? Because if I'm out here in the sun all day and I'm drinking 3 gallons of water as opposed to someone sitting in an office, how do you, the reason the doctor says, always let me know how this feels, because you got to know what dosage to give you.
Well, that's the thing, is because in warmer states, there's less fluoride in the water.
No, that's a lie. But the point again is, and I get back to the basis. What right does our government have to mass medicate us with anything?
Well, that's why you can take it out.
No, you cannot. It's in our drinking water. It's in our food. It's in our...
You filter it and it comes right out. You filter it
Do you know what kind of special filters it takes?
It's a reverse osmosis, and it takes
more than that. How many people do you know has reverse osmosis?
Actually, quite a few.
And then when you go out and have ice cubes or drink in a bar, do you think they're using that process?
They probably do nowadays. They probably do.
You're putting way too much trust.
But you know what, though? I don't mind fluoride, but my party is way down there, so... But that's because I work in the system.
Probably why you've got brain damage.
Oh, well...
I heard yesterday a guy who owns his trucking company in Los Angeles. We were talking about the automation, how they're going to start driverless trucks and things like that. He didn't think they were going to come over here because they'd be unsafe on the highways. And I says, well, I don't see why they wouldn't work those problems out, put us out of work.
Well, I think what they're going to do most likely is at first, and we'll see it with normal cars like these as well. But basically, I think what they're going to do is they're going to have driverless systems established for the interstate. Basically, once you get onto the interstate, your car will go into autopilot mode, or your truck, because it's pretty easy. I mean, that's what I tell all my guys I hire in transit guys. It's easy to keep that shit between the lanes on the interstate. I'm wondering how you drive getting from the terminal to the customer to get loaded with chemicals, and then to get onto the interstate. And then how you get off the interstate to get to the oil rig or wherever you need to go unload. That's what I care about. Driving on the interstate, my grandma could drive on the interstate and automatic. It's easy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they might still need drivers to do weird time maneuvers inside of chemical plants, because I don't know if they could write a computer program to tell a truck how to avoid hitting like pipes of chemicals going all around and back it into a little tiny hole. But
they might be able to work it out, but still, do you want to trust that? Because I mean, every time I get on a computer, you tell me anytime you get on a computer, it doesn't lock up, it doesn't, I'm not going to trust a computer to do it all. You can't. I mean, it's impossible.
Exactly. So we'll see. Maybe someday.
So you think Antifa ought to be, declared a terrorist organization? Easy. Put all right on there.
I don't know. I mean, they're certainly behaving like some. Anytime you bully people into submission. Again, it's funny. The same people who claim to be pro free speech are fighting what they call hate speech, which doesn't exist. There's no legal definition for hate speech. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
There's
they make shit up.
There's only a couple of things that you cannot say, which is like, I can't threaten you. I can't tell these people to come get you. That's it. You say I don't like the way you're dressed, that's fine. If you say you don't like the way I look, I hurt my feelings, but I'm not gonna cry about it, right? But I think that the weird thing is the people that are like claiming to be vehemently pro-speech, they're the ones that are trying to control and shut down free speech to quote protect, I guess populations that are being discriminated against, whatever the case may be. And that's the thing. I mean, we don't need more government telling us what to do. And let free markets do their things. Like if there's a bakery in town that doesn't want to serve whoever, and we as a people in that town say, we don't like that, that's bullshit. They should serve those people. We just stop shopping there, and they go out of business.
And vote with your dollars.
Problem solved. But people are like, no, we need to shut them down and go after them, and everyone like them. I'm like, Antifa is Mussolini's group, right, guys, motherfuckers? I mean, one of the greatest mass murderers of the 20th century. Anyhow.
I think most people are seeing through it. I mean, the ones that don't are idiots. I mean, and they'll be dismissed. I mean, how many people listen to idiots?
I need you up on my girlfriend.
All right,
Hey, take care, brother. Take care of you, man.
Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my brother.
Have a good man. See you.
What do you guys do down there? What are you doing?
We're studying. Right now we're just at FIU and we're just studying. We're pre-medical students. And we're actually here volunteering. We help for the flood and stuff. We came here volunteer.
See, those other idiots go out there and cause trouble. You guys, actually do something worthwhile. And you, young lady, are also volunteering. Wonderful.
I'm gonna be a doctor.
Now let me ask you, do you know that the left has been trying to foster a race war? I'm sure you...
Yeah, I agree with that. They make cultural relations worse.
Yeah, they always do that.
Obama made it worse.
Yeah.
That's I have no idea what that is. It wasn't even a big deal.
Well, I'm not surprised. Antifa is a group being funded by George Soros, who is... they show up at rallies or demonstrations dressed in black, covering their faces, carrying anarchist signs and what they say being against fascism. But they use the tactics of fascists. In other words, they're the ones that shut down Milo, that comedian in Berkeley.
I love Milo.
Yeah.
Milo.
Remember when they shut down the
he couldn't perform at the university.
That was Antifa.
That's Antifa?
So the media, of course, isn't going to bring them up because they're funded. They're funded by George Soros, the left. So they're out there to formulate, to try to start the race war, because that's what they want. They want, the blacks fighting whites, fighting the browns, fighting the reds, and the yellows, and everybody fighting the police, so they can bring in their race, their police state. Right. Like they did yesterday in that attack in Charlotte. I mean, if that thing was so obviously staged, if you see how the police allowed Antifa to march in, I mean, Antifa beats up anything that isn't them.
Yesterday? There was an attack on Charlotte yesterday?
Oh, yeah, there was a big thing.
I've been caught up in my news lately.
Oh, yeah, a guy drove through the crowd all over the Antifa people.
Oh, you saw on the
So
news?
now it's the alt-right, because there was a protest against tearing down the statue, at least like they did here. They took down the statue. So they're trying to portray that demonstration against tearing down the station as white supremacist and against the people who were protesting the neo-Nazis, which would be the Antifa people who are the fascists. But both of them are being run by the same deep state. So that, it's come on. Everybody with two brains, you guys are, my God, you're medical students, you got brains. So you put two of those brain cells together, you can figure out that they're trying to play us off one another. So my thing is, I want to know, do you think they're going to succeed?
I don't know. They have the whole world agreeing with them, dude.
Not really. Look, we're still winning. That's the good news. Look, we're still winning. As I said, we got God and truth on our side. Even with everything that they've thrown at us, he got an office against all odds.
I think it's because I live in a big city, and all the big cities, Miami, and everyone there is, except for the Cubans.
Yeah. Well, same here. Same here. You get outside the city, it's a red. You can drive from Florida now to Iowa and not cross a blue county. So it's the country that it is the people, working people that do this. So that's cool, man. Keep on keeping on.
All right, well, man.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure too, sir.
Young lady.
The Cubans.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, I'm getting good out here on the street to be able to kind of, when people say Miami, and it's a generalization, but there's something about the Cuban mystique and physique. You can tell they're a good American. Yeah, it's not just that. There's a some gravitas that I like to the people. So I saw to meet you guys. Cool. Glad to meet you. All right, guys. Take it easy. All right.